You know that moment, you find the perfect person for a job. They just happen to live halfway across the world. And then the headache starts. International hiring, payments.
Oh, yeah. It's a massive challenge. And it's getting more common, right? With remote work really taking off.
Totally. Those digital nomads the history doc mentioned, they're not really a niche anymore.
Not at all. And think back to 2020. Gosh, how fast did company remote policies have to change then?
Exactly. So today we're doing a deep dive into a platform that's designed specifically to take that international hiring hassle away.
It's fascinating, isn't it? This global search for talent bumping right up against really local, often complex employment laws and banking systems.
Yeah, that 2020 shift really threw a spotlight on all those friction points.
And now we're seeing solutions like this one emerge.
Right. And the solution we're looking at is Arbonum. According to their profile on Unicorns Club, they're a contractor payroll platform.
Okay.
And they've got a real laser focus on IT and game dev companies.
Interesting niche.
Yeah. And their core mission, this is key, is saving those companies time and money, onboarding contractors anywhere, all through one single platform.
So streamlining something that's traditionally, well, frankly, a bit of a mess. Fragmented, complicated.
Exactly. And to really get how they're doing this and, what sparked the idea in the first place, we've got a good mix of sources.
Yeah, what have we got? The startup profile?
Yep. Their origin story, some stuff on their core values, promotional text, and even the LinkedIn profile of the co-founder.
Okay, solid background.
So our mission for you in this deep dive, understand what Arbonum actually offers, why it exists, and kind of their vision for where global work is heading.
And keep it clear, right? Avoid the jargon.
Absolutely. Okay, let's unpack this. Where should we start? Maybe the why, the origin story.
Yeah, the why is always revealing. Their history doc says Arbonum came to life as an assistant for those who like to call the shots in their work life.
I like that framing. Call the shots.
It really taps into that desire for autonomy, doesn't it? Flexibility, working where and how you want.
Totally.
And the key thing here, I think, isn't just automation. It's about access. Making global talent genuinely accessible for maybe smaller companies, too. Kind of democratizing it.
Yeah, empowering individuals. Definitely.
Yeah.
The history also mentions the frustrations, for those digital nomads. That feeling that papers matter more than people.
Oh, yeah. Drowning in red tape just because you want to work from somewhere else.
Exactly.
And it wasn't just the nomads feeling the pain. The history points out, back in 2020, companies jumping into remote hiring, they hit walls too.
Like what?
Well, how do you keep a company culture going when everyone's scattered? How do you even begin to navigate compliance in 10 different countries?
Right, the legal stuff must be a nightmare.
Totally. And Arbonum apparently zeroed in on solving that for IT, ad agencies, and especially game dev.
Across 110 plus countries, it said. That's ambitious.
It really is. You have to wonder what's unique about those sectors. Maybe needing super specialized skills fast, or lots of project-based work.
Could be. That global reach is impressive, though. And it links directly to their values, right?
Yeah, the Our Values document. It says it was developed for free-minded human beings by a team who had actually lived the nomad life.
Ah, so they get it. First-hand experience.
Exactly. Which probably explains why they're so strong on things like fair pay, handling taxes properly.
Health insurance, too, right?
Right.
And just general financial well-being for these remote pros.
Yes. They explicitly say, these folks bring the same value as office employees. They deserve the same support.
It's definitely not just about the platform, then. There's a fairness principle baked in.
Seems like it. And they're choosy about clients, too, apparently. The history mentions only working with companies who buy into fair pay and location independence.
That fits with what we see from the co-founder, Roman Gordy, on LinkedIn. His focus on human root needs.
Good point. It feels like that belief in the individual is really driving things.
Which sets the stage nicely for the what? The actual platform. How do these values translate into features?
Right. Okay. So what does Arbonum actually do?
Okay, so pulling from the profile and that other text, it's basically a contractor payroll platform.
Right.
And a global employment platform for freelancers. All in one.
Integrated.
Yeah, think of it like instead of needing one tool for payroll, another for compliance docs, another for international payments.
You're juggling different apps for everything.
Exactly. Arbonum wants to be the single operating system for managing your international contractors.
That unified solution idea, that's the real value proposition, isn't it? No more piecing things together.
Right. And the features seem pretty comprehensive.
Such as?
Automated tax handling, which, let's face it, sounds like a dream for anyone who's waded through international tax law.
Oh, absolutely. Huge headache avoided.
Instant international payments, generating legal docs for different countries, those crucial KYC, KYB checks,
Know your customer, know your business. Yeah, essential for compliance.
and localized contracts, which probably prevents a ton of legal grief later on.
So they're hitting all those key pain points we mentioned. Tax complexity, slow payments, legal unknowns.
Offering a much smoother way through it all.
And the focus on IT and game dev suggests they've really, tailored it. They know the specific needs there.
Seems that way. And they're getting results. That text mentioned serving talent from over 150 countries.
Wow, 150.
And processing over $20 million in global payouts.
Okay, that's serious traction. That kind of volume speaks volumes.
It does. Which makes you look at the team behind it, right? Who's driving this growth?
Yeah, those numbers suggest they're doing something right. So the team, the Unicorns Club profile, had info on that.
It did. Their startup readiness level is described as fully operational, now growing market share and scaling.
So past the initial hurdles, into growth mode.
Pretty much. And the team readiness level gets a good review, too.
Yeah.
Founding team has the core skills, shares agreed, roles aligned.
Fundamentals. You need that foundation to scale properly.
Definitely. And they scored well elsewhere on Unicorns Club. Let's see, 9 out of 9 for validating growth.
That's top marks.
5 out of 9 for core competencies covered, still decent. A 9 for strong IPR protection.
Intellectual property? Important for a tech platform.
And another 9 for scaling widespread product sales. So getting external validation like that from Unicorns Club is pretty significant.
Absolutely. It shows they're building a real scalable business, not just a cool product.
And we know Roman Gordy is the CEO and co-founder.
Yeah.
Gives us a face to the vision.
Right. Which leads us nicely into, well, where are they going next? Strategic growth, future plans.
Yeah, their presence on Unicorns Club is part of that strategy, isn't it?
How so?
Well, the text we have calls it a platform connecting startups with investors globally.
Ah, makes sense. For a global company like Arbonum, you need global investors who get it.
Exactly. That platform gives them global reach, live fundraising profiles, strategic tools, helps them find the right partners for that next stage.
And speaking of fundraising, they have a round open now?
It's like it. The text mentions an open funding round, and they're clear about what they'll use it for.
Which is?
Expanding into new markets, so more countries presumably, more product development, including, interestingly, using AI for compliance.
Ooh, AI-enhanced compliance. That sounds potentially powerful, cutting edge.
Right, and also building strategic partnerships. HR platforms, other SaaS tools, fintech companies.
Smart. Embedding themselves in the ecosystem. These priorities show they're thinking ahead, planning for the long term, that AI piece especially.
Definitely. Now let's circle back a bit to that human element. It feels really central to Arbonum.
You mean from Roman Gordy's profile?
Yeah, his LinkedIn stuff. He talks about understanding the user story behind any numbers, finding the human root needs.
That really echoes the origin story, doesn't it? That assistant for those who call the shots.
It really does. It feels like the focus is genuinely on the person, not just the transaction.
And his Instagram invite, talking about international teams, diversity, onboarding talent, it underlines that interest in the human side of global work.
Yeah. And it was quite telling, I thought, seeing his post about mass layoffs.
What did he say?
Basically calling out the negative impact on creativity, on progress. And you can sort of draw a line from that to Arbonum's mission, right?
How so?
Well, if you make it easier for companies to work with global talent flexibly, maybe you reduce the need for those huge disruptive layoff cycles.
Interesting angle. It's like fostering a more resilient workforce model, empowering individuals and businesses.
Kind of helping everyone thrive in this more connected world.
Yeah, it's definitely a move beyond just processing payments. It feels like they're trying to enable a more sustainable, maybe more equitable way for businesses and talent to connect globally. Fair treatment, compliance, access.
So, wrapping things up, Arbonum, it's clearly more than just payroll software.
Absolutely. It's a thought-out solution for the messy bits of international contracting.
Driven by this belief in empowering freelancers and helping companies access talent fairly.
And that human-centric view, led by the founder, seems genuine. It feels like the core motivation.
It's fascinating how they sit right at that intersection, tech innovation, meeting this huge shift in how and where we all work.
Yeah, they're not just automating admin, they're tapping into fundamental needs and values for the nomads and the companies adapting to this global talent pool.
Okay, so here's a final thought for you, the listener, to mull over. We're seeing this huge boom in the freelance economy. Platforms like Arbonum are getting more sophisticated.
Yeah.
What's next?
Mm.
What new opportunities, but also maybe new challenges are going to pop up for individuals looking for that borderless work and for companies trying to build these global teams?
Yeah, it really feels like the landscape of work is shifting under our feet. What does the future really look like?
Something to think about.
Step up your game, join the unicorns club.